Hola, ¿cómo están, my compañeros? This is a very interesting article, and it's backed up by the Southern Poverty Law Center, which I'm at odds with them at times, but they do research into people that are part of groups that disparage immutable characteristics of others. So immutable characteristics would be skin color, religion, orientation. The Willamette Weekly is a propaganda rag for Portland, Oregon. And so they're at odds right now with SPLC for even daring to say that blacks could form a hate group. And so it says right here, it says, has the SPL lost its mind? And then SPL says, we stand behind the listing, said Heidi Barrett. As the SPL's, and as you read this article, you'll discover that these gentlemen are very serious. They are very serious, and the article tries to play it down. As the SPLC prepares to publish a new hate map next month, observers of hate speech in Portland, Oregon, or Portland, argue that the watchdog organization is missing the obvious. Black and white hate groups don't operate on a level playing field. That is the most racist thing that I've ever heard. Organizations of color do not have the power to enact their vision on this society, says Walanda Emirasha, an author of the Oregon Black History Scholar. White supremacist organizations do. So these professionals are denigrating these men. They're saying that these men right here are children. They're saying these men drove all the way from Seattle to meet in Oregon to have a meeting and speak about themselves because they're children. Oh, these groups are children. But the group appears to have little leadership in Portland and few or no programs on the ground. Okay, the point I'm trying to make right now is these gentlemen are serious as any gentleman could possibly be about what they're about. Then I've come across a statement made by a Dr. Randy Blazak, which absolutely typifies the disgusting racist nature of racist liberals. This is what he has said. He has disparaged this group in such a manner. He calls them absolute children. He says, here it is right here. I'll read it. The SPLC has real influence and a track record of identifying and taking action against hate groups. Black Separatists in Portland, however, constitute little or no threat, local experts say. Portland is 6% black, and police numbers show 4 of 34 suspects in biased crimes since 2015 were black. Okay, so that's an expert. Who is this expert? This expert is Randy Blazak. He says, they don't actually do anything about their beliefs, says Randy Blazak, director of the Hate Crimes Research Network. They basically meet in a little room off of MLK and talk about the white devil and these conspiracy theories and then go home. Can you not infantilize these grown men with weapons? I can't. So I was thinking, who is this man that has the audacity to denigrate other men? And here he is, Dr. Randy Blazak. Randy Blazak's scholarship on hate crimes and hate groups has made him a regular commenter in media outlets from NPR and CNN to BBC and Al Jazeera. He is the most racist white liberal I have come across. And this gentleman right now, he is instructing students at Portland State University. He has taught criminology at Portland State University. I would be willing to posit Dr. Randy Blazak is a premier member of Antifa. Dr. Randy Blazak is a coordinating member of Antifa, without a doubt in my mind. This is him speaking.
And so these clashes are nothing new to the city. What is new is how this is playing out at...
I want to talk now about some of these far-right groups with Randy Blazak, head of the Oregon Coalition Against Hate Crime. He joins us now via Skype. Thank you so much for being with us.
Glad to be here.
Now, you are based in Portland, where you have watched all of this play out, of course, the deadly violence on the weekend, then the mayor accusing the U.S. president of fanning hate and violence, and the president striking back. What impact is all this having on the city and the way people feel about the future?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite strange to be in the center of this conversation, but in a way it's a great opportunity for Portland to make its case. But the city of Portland has a long history of violence between racists and anti-racists, including a racist skinhead that was murdered by an anti-racist skinhead in 1993. And so these clashes are nothing new to the city. What is new is how this is playing out as part of this national dialogue we're having about race and policing, and the fact that the president has engaged in this debate in the city just kind of brings up the tension level that we're experiencing. It always seems like it's about to sort of fade off, and then something happens to reignite the protests, and we're back at square one all over again.
I wonder if you planned that, Dr. Blazak. Extremism and racism changing the tenor of protests in Portland and in Kenosha?
Yeah, the Northwest has had a history all of its own of white supremacists sort of claim the Northwest as their homeland. In fact, there's been a movement to secede from the rest of the country and create a white homeland in America. And some of these groups have been showing up at these protests, militia groups and Patriot Prayer and Proud Boys. And these white supremacist groups have often served to
They
agitate.
just
Many of them
called
want more.
Patriot Prayer and Proud Boys white supremacist organizations. Calm down, big cats. And so what we have right here is Dr. Randy Blazak presenting himself as an expert when all he is, he's an expert racist. This gentleman teaches young people. This gentleman has influence over the hearts and minds of some of the most dynamic people in the world. I consider the Northwest a very special place. Those young people are very actionable. That's why they're taken advantage of. We need to get individuals like Dr. Randy Blazak to state his opinion. I would like to get him to say this. I would like to get him to stand in front of that group of individuals, armed individuals, and say they don't actually do anything about their beliefs. They basically meet in a little room off of MLK and talk about their white devil and these conspiracy theories and then go home. That's what that man, Dr. Randy Blazak, just said about this gentleman. That's what Dr. Randy Blazak just said about, he said, they're not about anything. They ain't gonna do nothing. They don't do anything. They're just children. They're infants. They need us to tell them how to work. They need us to tell them how to operate. They need us to tell them how to have a good life. Look at this gentleman. It's an interesting picture right here. One like a beauty shot. He looks like he's on heroin in this picture right here. He really does look like his eyes are glossed over, like he's on heroin. Dr. Randy Blazak, the most voracious racist that is in charge of young people, young minds in Portland, Oregon. It just disgusts me because I drive by Portland State University all the time, and I know that's the center. That is the center. That is where these individuals are being indoctrinated. That's where they're being coached. That's where they have these defund the police signs all up over the place. That's where they're trying to tell these young people that for them to be successful in life means that they are stepping on other people's success. When the truth is that when you're successful in life, you actually elevate the people around you. So I'm very grateful for all the successful people in this world. Thank you very much. But Dr. Randy Blazak is a failure of the highest order. Dr. Randy Blazak, I'm pretty sure you might see him again.